Sometimes you come across a combination that makes so much sense, it's hard to believe you haven't seen it before. Like, how did no one come up with this until now? Fortunately, the combination at least exists now, and it makes a great multiplayer game on the Wii U. It's TNT Racers, Nitro Machines Edition. So obviously the subtitle would seem to indicate that this is an upgraded version of an older game, right? And it is, but you've probably never heard of that one. The original TNT Racers was released on WiiWare in 2012. That console didn't exactly have the eyes of the world in 2012, and certainly not its digital service. So it's back on Wii U, with more levels, better graphics, and all the available DLC from the previous version. And before you ask, yes, the Wii supported DLC. See, this is what I'm talking about. Learning things together. So, what's the combination? Well, the TNT Racers is kind of a brilliant idea. It's a top-down racer meets Smash Brothers meets Mario Kart. Sounds weird, but holy crap does it make sense when you play it. So you race against 3 other cars in what appears to be your typical top-down racing game. There are 2 things that make TNT Racers not that. 1, it's just total weapon-based Mario Kart chaos, and 2, you can actually smash people off the screen. So I guess it's technically a racer, but only in the sense that there are cars driving on racetracks. In fact, crossing the finish line doesn't even matter. That is, unless you happen to be the only car crossing the finish line. See, the idea is to bash your opponents until their cars explode. And there are plenty of ways to do it. You can fire missiles, you can drop explosives, you can spray oil slicks, anything it takes to get their health down to kaboom. Of course, the easiest way, just get them off the screen. What happens next depends on the rules you pick. In battle mode, points are based on the order of the explosions, and the first to 12 points wins. There's also a points mode, and that's where things get interesting. Now it's not about blowing up your opponents, you also have a score to worry about. So you need to rack up points between your explosions. And if you just want to learn the tracks, there's also a time attack, which lets you cruise through the levels and try to make the fastest time possible. Now, that said, the game's at its best when things get hectic, so you'll spend most of your time playing the race modes, and specifically with friends. I mean, TNT Racers is a nice single-player game, but multiplayer is when it shines. In fact, speaking of the ingredients, it's a lot like that chaotic kind of fun you have with Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. And I don't say that lightly, it's really that good with friends. But unfortunately, your friends better live in your building or on your block. It's the one major drawback of this Wii U version. It only supports local multiplayer. And I mean, local multiplayer is great, that's the best kind of multiplayer. But at this point, online's kind of expected. And especially considering that the Wii version had online, that's a pretty huge letdown. Of course, on the other hand, literally everything else from the Wii version was included in this one. And not just included, improved upon. So for an $8 download, there's a very nice amount of content here. And the lack of online is a massive disappointment, but a few rounds with friends on the couch and it's easy to forgive. It's fun, it's hectic, it's TNT Racers, Nitro Machines Edition, and it's one of the best multiplayer games in the eShop.